Do you have a background check error where you're trying to apply for a job or housing, and then the company, the employer, or the apartment complex ran your background report, and now you see some errors showing up with some criminal history that isn't yours, or it is yours, but they're saying it's a felony, but it's actually was dismissed or was a misdemeanor? But there's something erroneous about that report, right? Well, if that's the case, I want to talk to you about your options, and I want to talk to you about what documents we're going to need to see if you can handle your case. First thing we look for are, we need a copy of the background check report. If you can't get a copy of the background check report, we're not going to be able to help you much. We need to know the name of the company, we need to be able to see the report, and need to be able to see what was written in the report and what was the issue with that report, okay? So the report is crucial. We cannot evaluate your case in any way unless we have a copy of that background check report, number one. Number two, we need to see if you have any documentation that shows the information they're reporting is wrong. Now, if it's not your criminal history, that's fine. We don't need a lot of documentation. We know it's not yours. We'll verify the information with the court records ourselves and see what comes up. If it is your information, but the information that is being reported incorrectly, then we're going to need to see the actual records of that conviction or arrest and see what the final disposition of that criminal case was. Sometimes people get charged with a felony, for example, but then later on through the process it gets reduced, or there's deferred adjudication, which means it shouldn't go on your record because you did community service or you time served or whatever, and then it just becomes a deferred adjudication and shouldn't be on your record at all. It should just say disposed or dismissed. But we need to see those records from the court. Sometimes we're able to pull those up online from the court's website because some of the courts have online access and some courts don't. So we do need to see those records. So what we need to do is we need to compare the background check report, what's written on that report, with the court records and see what actually happened in that particular case and what the final outcome was. If there's a discrepancy, the information does not add up, then you have potentially what's called a background check reporting case. Sometimes so a lot of my clients will call in and ask us, how much is my case worth? Again, your case value depends on a couple of factors. The first factor is how false was the information that's being reported. If let's say the information being reported was, one of my clients was reported as a felony child molester, and that person obviously was working at a school. So he was on the sex offender registry against a minor. That's what the report said, but it wasn't true. This individual got thrown out of his employment. He got removed from the school by the police. It was humiliating. His reputation was destroyed. Depends on the circumstances. That sounds like a case that's pretty high value, because the injury to this person sustained was also, the information reported was severe. It was false, and it cost him a job and his reputation among his colleagues. On the other hand, it could be a case where the information is incorrect. It says misdemeanor conviction, but it was just an arrest and there was never a conviction. And it could be something small like possession of marijuana or a DUI. Okay? That doesn't have that much of a harmful effect to someone's reputation as compared to being reported on the sex offender registry and not actually being a sex offender. So, and if the denial in that case is, I couldn't drive for a rideshare company. Okay, well, you do have damages. They're economic damages about lost income and minor injury to reputation. But the case is not as a high value case compared to the other instance I talked about. So each case is different. We would love to help you, but we need those documents.